I want to explain what I was talking about in my last video a little bit more clearly, particularly in regards to what Julia James Davis was discussing in her channel about, in the channel called The War on Beauty, and the obsession in avant-garde art with the mundane, the ordinary, almost to the extent of the art actually being sort of grotesque, which is kind of ironic. But I guess what I think about it is that it's like a regressive tendency masked as a progressive tendency. Right, and I think obviously whoever is pulling the strings, whoever's creating that is obviously doing that intentionally. Right. And however, I'm not suggesting that the alternative is to create art that only glamorizes everything, everything about life. That there's actually a funny scene I remember that it was in the movie Amadeus, where Mozart was actually criticizing the emperor for going too far in the other direction, where they didn't want anything about everyday life. They only wanted things that were grand, that were exalted. And Mozart made a joke saying that, well, they sound so lofty that they could shit marble. And he had a point, obviously. So I think it's possible to go too far in the other direction, right? But it's not about adhering to it's not about getting stuck in this kind of, I don't know what to call it exactly, this emotional or ideological um, uh, viewpoint or sphere about art. It's really just about being educated, like having a sense of the way the world works, but also being in a position to provide practical solutions, like actual antidotes. Right, so that's the progressive aspect of, like, progressive in the real sense of the word, right? And going beyond what is ordinary, well, that can go in either direction. You can show the dark side of things as a way, but there has to be obviously a sense of purpose, and that purpose has to be much greater, I think, than just simply trying to shatter the older, more traditional ways of doing things, right? That it's not because you have this, you're on this crusade, or you have this hatred for the people who created those traditions, because you might believe that they are oppressive. um, but I think that there has to, of course, be that sense of responsibility, and that's also why I think it would be interesting, as I explained a couple of videos ago, to create a character of my own book series who has that sort of transcendental purpose, but he also is educated. He's not just this starry-eyed kind of buffoon. He has there has to be a balance of those two things, and I think that is really what it boils down to.